Hello and welcome back to another Star Citizen video. We are more than halfway into the IAE 2955 event, and it has been exciting. It also has been a little disappointing. Not really a big disappointment, but then again, it is next, right? We got lots of stuff, we get lots of toys to play, and of course, we want to see more. I want to see more for sure. And I don't think it's really a big no, you know what? A little disappointing on the referral side. So before we begin, PSA, you do not need to buy any of this shit with real money. All you need is a starter pack. And of course, the best part about the starter pack is, no, what's better than the starter pack? Discounted starter pack. And of course, it is a free fly event during the IAE 2955 event. And I do hope you enjoy the game. And of course, if you don't like it and you've tried it, that's fair. I am happy that you tried. That's all. And of course, you can put in your 2 cents, your opinion. Do note everything is also an opinion-based type of thing. So when it comes to games, and of course, when it comes to spending money, you don't need to buy any of this shit with real money. And before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, with that out of the way, let's take a look at Enlist Aerospace. And I promise I try to go much faster because there are some videos that I done prior. Took a little bit more time because when it comes to ship, well, I have too many things to talk about. Okay, let's start off with the Warborn Daily Deal. It is the Terrapin Medic, and this is an easy pickup for me if you want to upgrade to a more expensive ship for the things that we have been building, because this fits in. All right, at $220. $200. This is easy, easy, easy. I'm gonna use the Zeus. You can pick. I'm going to pick up the Zeus Mark II MR instead because that's the cheapest one. It is $10. Yes, and yeah, so that's that. And if for those who don't want to upgrade to more expensive ship, the Terrapin Medic is technically okay. It's not the best ship, unfortunately. It is not a daily driver ship, also unfortunately, at $220 for just a medical ship. Yeah, you have better choice, okay? Namely the Dread Clipper. And of course, there are much more cheaper stuff if you just want medical gameplay. And obviously, the Apollo is one of them. Okay, so let's start off with the ship that started my whole entire Star Citizen journey, and that is the F7CN Super Hornet Mark II. At $240, this is a medium fighter. This has been, still is, you know what, I'm gonna still, this is a hot take, I would say still is the go-to combat ship if you want to be a little bit more beefy dog fighting and whatnot. Okay, at $240, unfortunately, if you are willing to pay a little bit more, which is something that I will never recommend anymore, obviously this is not the top dog. Okay, and of course, Super Hornet and the Aegis Saber, usually they go the, it's usually the side-by-side comparison or the choice between two ships. Do you want more dog fighting, up close combat, or you want to be a bit more stealthy? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's that for the Super Hornet. Of course, we have the Hornet lineup as well, the F7C. We have two more variants. We have the Tracker and the Ghost, which is interesting. The Ghost has went up in price. Yay! Still, it's lousier than the Mark 1 counterpart. Just want to put it out there. And I don't have it. I'm slightly, okay, anyway. That's that. And of course, we have the F8C Lightning. If you want the best of the best and money is no issue, the F8C Lightning. Do note the F8C Lightning does not have an upgrade option. And that's the reason why I could not recommend this ship at all, because I cannot upgrade to. That means you have to spend $300. That's a big no-no for me. All right, so that's that. Next up, we have the Gladiator. Now, the Gladiator is part of the Best in Show ship, so there will be a Warborn upgrade when we have the Best in Show. Do stay tuned for PSA. It will be coming out soon because you can get this free skin for the Gladiator with extra steps. Okay, you just need to put a little bit more steps, and that is by buying. And unfortunately, you have to buy before the best in show. More on that later. This one mainly for people who wants to collect skins, people who are a little bit more into the game, people who spend way too much money on internet spaceship. Right, for new players or returning players who don't want to spend lots of money. Again, you do not need to spend money to play this game. Yeah, no. Okay, next up, the Hawk, which is a cool bounty ship. This has an EMP, which is nice at $100. Is it better than the Avenger Warlock? The answer is, some argue yes, some argue no. So that's I'm gonna put it at there. Hurricane, the OG of a pilot co-pilot weapon platform, or rather ship. It is very, very good, but it is also a glass cannon. Is it still good? The answer is still yes. All right, obviously there are other better ships out there, but at $210, not too shabby. Alright, Legionnaire, Skip is a boarding vehicle. In concept, nothing much to talk. Liberator, light carrier, pocket carrier, leave it there. $575, that's a lot of money. But then again, it's okay. No. For any pocket carrier that does not have pilot control weapons, easily I would say grab it when you are well informed. During in-concept sale, it's just a pocket carrier. Next up, if you want a mini hammerhead, and right now it has a special upgrade offer, it is the Paladin or Paladin, however you want to call it. It's totally cool because this is an awesome gunship, and this is the best gunship to pick up if you have friends to play around with, because the turret, oh boy, when you have a friend to play with, it is crazy good. I'm gonna say that it's fun. It's a very, very fun ship for group activity. Okay. Downside is you can't put a medical. There's no medical bay, and you need a squad. Okay, you need a squad. Next up, vehicle, Spartan, easy skip. Terrapin, alright, base Terrapin is a scouting ship. Now, if it's just a pure scouting ship, the $220 price tag, it is still a premium, that's for sure. But is it good? We need to know how the exploration, pathfinder, all this thing needs to flesh out before I can do a proper evaluation with its value, or rather with its price tag. Not value, price tag. We want to know the value of the ship with the gameplay and the price tag. Okay. Terrapin Medic, already self-explanatory. If you want to do some medical gameplay, and of course the Terrapin chassis in general, it's highly armored, which means you can stay longer in combat. For a Terrapin Medic, makes sense, and that's the reason why I question about the Terrapin. The OG, or rather on paper back then in lore, the Terrapin is technically a ship that you go into hostile zone and you start scanning. So if that's the case, that makes sense as well. But question, what is exploration? Next up, we have the Valkyrie, the first drop ship in the game that puts a benchmark, like says, all right, this is the benchmark. And the Valkyrie is a great ship. However, there is another better ship out there, and I think it's a cheaper price tag. It is the Asgard. So there we go. Yeah, the Valkyrie is still good, but yeah, unfortunately, Asgard it just dwarf this ship, right? Yeah, interesting. All right, next up we have the Arrow at $75. This is a great training fighter out there, and with a relatively cheaper price tag. All right. Obviously, I'm a bit biased. I would go for the Gladius instead of the Arrow, but the Arrow is much more agile. Next up, we have the Asgard at $350, so $25 cheaper than the Valkyrie and twice better. When I say twice better, that means the cargo bay is huge, which is great. We get a little bit more armament, which is nice. Okay, just a little bit more, and obviously the armament is different, and yeah, there's no reason not to pick the S-Guard in general, unless you want a bit more nimble. Okay, but then again, dropships are technically a little bit more brick to fly with, so not a big deal in that department to carry more toys for me, and it's still cheaper. All right. So that's the S-Guard. Next up, the Ballista. It is a vehicle, air-to-air, not bordered, easy skip. Next up, we have the Pisces. So we have two Pisces, Pisces Expedition and Pisces Rescue version. Again, what is exploration? I don't know. $45, easy skip, because this is technically you have other better ships out there, and that is the Drake Cutter. Yep, I'm gonna say straight up, Drake Cutter is the best cheaper starter ship if you want to get a cheaper price tag. However, it used to be, okay, because last time when it first introduced, it has LTI. Now, because there's no LTI, I will still go back to the Avenger Titan. The downside is Avenger Titan is $60, which is a little bit more pricier in general. And of course, the C8R Pisces. Now, this is the best small ship if you just want to do a rescue mission. You want to zip around the verse, and it's relatively small. Yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, this only for rescue. So if you're only doing first-person shooter content and you don't care about space pew pew, you want something fast, nimble, and easy to replace, air quote. When I say easy to replace, means if your ship gets blown up, is it easier to replace in the verse? In general, it should be the easiest because it's a small ship. Yep, compared to any other large ship. That's the only reason. All right. And of course, the Pisces is a companionship, or rather snub ship to the Carrack, and the Carrack is the number one go-to ship for people who wants to do exploration in general. And the reason is, on paper, again, the Carrack has a exploration suite, and that's the reason why we want to know, how do we play exploration? Do we really need a map room in exploration suite? If the answer is yes, then we only have a handful of ships that can fulfill that role, which is great. Okay, because we need certain roles to certain ship. If we don't have that, then any ship can do anything, which is also kind of in line with Star Citizen's space sandbox thing, right? You can do whatever you want as long as you have a spaceship. That's also another thing. And of course, the Carrack it is technically a retired military vehicle, so it is better in armor wise. It has a cool canopy thingy, which I like a lot. It has some radar antenna thingy when you deploy the exploration thing that is unfortunately only for the exploration part of things. So yeah. And it has droppable detachable cargo pods, which I want to see that in action. Yeah. Anyway, Carrack is still awesome, right? Carrack is love, Carrack is life. $600. Questionable. Although, no, not although. Good news is I'm trying to build the Perseus, and if I were to build the Perseus, I also can build the Carrack for a relatively cheaper price, because my annual, what do you call this? The annual routine? No. The annual tradition for Star Citizen is to try to build the Carrack as cheaply as I can. And in the previous round, the cheapest we can get was 50% off. That is only for Warborn upgrades or CCU during that year itself, not a accumulation of multiple Warborn upgrades. Because if you do that, you get much, much more cheaper. That's the reason why I'm trying to build it live. Next up, we have the Centurion. It is a, again, vehicle, easy skip. Crucible. Now, this ship is interesting. We have seen some salvaging ships out there. We have seen some salvaging gameplay. We have seen some relatively, I wouldn't say tier 0, but we have kind of seen an introduction to repairing. So the Crucible is an interesting thing because now it is a enclosed vehicle repair or ship repair ship. And this is, I won't say very, very important, but this feature, the repair feature, if if it's exactly like how CIG has pushing out some of their things. Basically, you're getting a special what you call this tier, the size 2 or size 3 repair, what do you call this, turret, yeah, mini turret and whatnot, and then you just scan the ship, repair the ship. And because it's enclosed, which means you can scoop up the ship, close it, run it away from any combat zone, and run to safety and just repair the ship, which is also another small little candidate for a pocket carrier. And I have a few wild ideas for this. All right, the Crucible is the perfect ship if you want to do scouting or racing. It's literally a mobile truck repair truck stop. Yeah, put your small little interceptor in, and then you fly around, and then once you reach to a neutral zone, if you want to explore hostile area, deploy your small ship or your scouting ship, which is relatively harder to track, and then just zip around. There we go, that's one. And of course, you can use this as a carrier to carry your small ships into racing tracks. And if your ship gets damaged, go back to the Crucible, repair, and back into the race. Ta-da! All right. So that's that for Anvil. All right. Skip. Yeah, the rest skip. Although I do like the Terrapin Vitality Paint, but I think I have to make a stand. And skins including limited edition skin or limited edition skin. I think I can close a blind eye. We will talk about skins soon because the Best in Show skin is coming up, and we want to get some of the skins for free, obviously, with extra steps. That's the problem, right? And of course, there are some new ships here. We have limited time skin, which is very, very nice, but in most cases, I would say it's a big no for a lot of, for some reasons, which I will mention later. And that's that for today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And of course, if I earn it, if this video is awesome and informative, that's all I care. And that's it, right? I've done what I can do. Until then, I will see you in the verse and fly prosperous. Yeah. Yeah, I think I have a nice little outro right now.